Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars week, what week are we on these days? 89, day 4. Today of course we got ourselves a brown Guild War day. We also ended up getting the raid event earlier today, and I'm pretty sure the weapon is still broken. Seems to be going based on drifting sands. However, you still want to pick it up as just to have it for later. Going to be needing it if nothing else. It's only 210 gems, so helps out the guild anyways for getting the event done. It's an okay weapon if it was to be actually working correctly. Currently is not though, but has a Dragonfall bonus of course, so you can have a little bit of synergy if it was actually working. Unfortunately, it is not. However, it appears my guild has finished out all the points, so we are actually completely done with raids. Not only our own points, but the entire guild's points are already in from 2 people going for leaderboard. So I might as well claim that now. As far as the team that we used, used a pretty standard just like spam AoE team with a hero weapon for the earlier battles, and then for the later battles we did the one we showed on Monday. I'll go show again. Wow, we got a blue, purple, green. Unfortunately, the only orb that was not blue or purple was the big one. But that's not too bad. Every small one was either blue or purple. So we got 2 blues, 2 purples, and a major green. So even though the major orb was awful, everything else was actually not bad. So that's actually pretty decent raids if it wasn't for that one green orb right at the end. Fortunately, it wasn't a blue-purple. But anyways, as far as the team we ran for, it was the same one we showed on the Monday video. It was the Mang, Lady, Garnita, Egg Thief, and Essentia. And basically just kill them all with skulls. That's what we ran for the later battles. Earlier battles, we just ran a bunch of AoE with a bunch of AoE dragons. And we were pretty much good to go until they started getting high enough stats that stopped working. But that's what we ended up doing it with. Anyways, as far as brown Guild War Day, let's go into that, see how our defend team has been doing for today. I believe earlier it had a win. Okay, it has 3 wins now. 3-13, which actually is almost our best day this week. Best day so far is Life and Death, doing Life and Death things. Oh, so we got a really few battles on the interim day. Did they not get all their battles in? I guess not, because their score is so low, gosh. I'm pretty sure this is, I have a lot of people not doing their battles. Because I was wondering, like, why are we having so much less on that day? The other one that's a little bit of an outlier is the purple day with 10 people. That's more realistic compared to only 7. But it looks like I did pretty good. But those are pretty standard teams. The Yagway Queen Titania and the Life and Death Weaver. Very common defend teams because the type of troops that you use for those teams don't really conflict with other teams, so it ends up working out really well. As far as score, we are actually way ahead. We are ahead with 10 less battles, so we are definitely beating whatever guild we are up against. Where are they positionally? Oh, okay. We're in a pretty solid 3rd then. We are in a pretty solid 3rd if that is the case. The point difference not too big considering that. But it does look like a pretty solid 3rd, nonetheless. We'll find out later. We'll be somewhere in there. Regardless, we're not moving down, so that's the main thing that'll matter. If nothing else. And at least we know we have a 100% chance of not getting dead last. But yeah, they must have a lot of people not doing their battles. Look at the bracket below. 700,000. The bracket below, above is almost 800,000. So weird. But anyways. Let's go do our battles. That's not the team we want. Oh yeah, we were farming with Dust Devil a little so I could gain a level. We do have 100% EXP. Maybe we'll do a little bit of farming today too. We're probably just going to be doing token grinding. I am looking for my Guild War Brown. Haha, I'm still using this team. It gets the job done. I'll stick with this. This is used to counter Yagway Queen Titania. Is the reason I use this team. I do want to go bring out the cleanse. A cleansometer. We're going to need it. Just trying to see anything else we might need to do for this battle. But let me go get the cleanse. Oh, I don't have anything set to cleanse? Oh yeah, we finished the world event, didn't we? I could actually overwrite those if we wanted to. We'll overwrite the middle for now. I want, I believe, 20%. Actually, no, we're already going to have a lot of starting manas across the team. I think we just want to go for 3 cleanse. And just nothing but cleanse. guarantee the cleanse. If in doubt, all of the cleanse. Especially as time goes on, cleanse is going to get increasingly better because as stats go higher and higher, having additional stats means less. And even though something like 12 magic will always kind of be pretty useful, the amount of cleanse technically keeps getting stronger and stronger over time because the amount of stats that you would gain becomes increasingly less as stats go higher. Not that it's actually a less value, but, you know, the total number of gain that it gives is less relative to the total amount of stats. So incrementally it gets worse over time. Alright, should be good to go. Let's do it. 3 10% cleanses, which is a 20-something percent, plus the other 10%, which is like a 30-something percent. I want brown. I want to cascade with a brown. Or we just manually take brown. Leaning towards the manually take brown route. I could take brown and purple here. Do I need purple? Do I want purple? That's good enough to take. Alright, we go for mountain. And I think that gets us rolling. There's some kind of cascade that will do something amazing. I could take a blue into a green into a purple. Oh, never mind. The purple doesn't get taken. Unless we get double purple off the sky. Yeah, we'll go for mountain here. If we land this mountain, we win. We won. Okay. Actually, not yet. I still need to land the Wild Queen or something. We need to land at least one additional thing, and then we won. Alright, now we won. Oh, we still don't have alignment for the other one, though. I don't want to have to skull spam yet. How do we still not have a convert? For this guy. I'll keep doing it until we do. Okay, apparently it just will not let us cast them. That's fine, we already have the win condition. There we go. Well, apparently we didn't even need him. Good job, Templar. You did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Tidecrawler has a freeze, doesn't it? Yes, one singular freeze. Still gotta keep the cleanse. And this thing has Hunter's Mark, technically. Though obviously the freeze is the more intimidating thing by far. Not even close. I didn't even say hello to everyone yet. Hello, Bill. Hello, Brandon. Oh, Bill always being first. Not always, but most of the time. He's the first claimer. Hello, Mr. Oh, also, yeah, Glory can be farmed very, very slowly in PvP. Generally, the best way to do it just is to wait for gnome events. However, there are some changes coming next patch that might make it a little bit more farmable at any point. But yeah, the best way to get Glory, oddly enough, is actually from gnomes, the Glory gnome specifically, not from PvP. The only time when PvP can be somewhat worth it is when there's a week where you get +5 Glory when using a PvP troop, or, you know, a specific Glory troop. And even then, it's a bit towards the slower side compared to gnomes. But there is a new feature next patch that might be helping with that a little bit, as far as getting gnomes, which in result could lead to more Glory gnomes. Hello, Polo. Hello, Nightmare. Hello, Tyrion. Hello, did I miss anything else? Hello, Joshua. You won 4 defend teams today? Nice. Use your advice on the team building. And you went Gargoyle, Tina, Essence of Evil, and Leprechaun. Nice. Glad it worked out. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Dallas. Hello, George. Hello, Kosh. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Romus. Hello, Sushi. Will they try to release a good mythic this year? I don't know. They did initially. We had a few good mythics at the beginning of this year. We had Ironhawk. We had a really good streak at the beginning. I can't remember the full list, but we have like Ironhawk. We got Quetzalma wasn't that bad. That one, Yellowbird. I think there was 1 or 2 others that were pretty decent. But yeah, it's been going downhill pretty quick as far as the mythic quality this year. It started strong and then got very, very weak very quickly. Okay, we got a problem. We were frozen on first lot and I did not have a cleanse. The only good thing here is we're not frozen on green. We're also not frozen on red because we don't use red. We're gonna do this and hope we land green extra turn. Because as long as we land green extra turn, we still land an extra turn. As long as we don't do it on Skull. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. I attack reduced the wrong one. Still a bit of a weird situation. I think I just want to convert here, even if he gets Essence of Evil out of it. I mean, not Essence of Evil, the Doomed Glaive. If anything else, at least we're not frozen anymore. That solved our frozen issue. It did not solve our entangle issue, though. That it did not. Oh, yeah, you're web 2, aren't you? I was like, this will do some spell damage. No, it won't. You're also webbed. At least we can still reduce attack if nothing else. All the way to 0 with you. Oh, I gotta be careful. He can still Megavore 7% our entire team out of pure luck. Or 8%, I mean. That could be scary. Alright, we just got cleansed. We should be fine now. Do we have any amount of alignment? No. Wild Queen, don't miss. Good, kind of. Like, how many extra turns he's hitting and not hitting a single one for insta-kill? I'll eventually jinx it, though. What even is this battle? This is a very weird stalemate. Where both of us are, like, barely doing any damage to each other. But yeah, he's hit, like, 10 extra turns and hasn't hit a single insta-kill. This is why I don't use Megavore. It is way too inconsistent. It's also why you generally don't use Assassin. The inconsistency is just too high. Speaking of inconsistency, can we actually do damage? We keep just having to disable war this battle. From both sides. Where none of us are really doing any damage for multiple turns on end. This is a very strange battle. And we won. I'll play it safe, and I'm just taking the skull at this point. Not risking it. I feel like we're on track for 9,200. Well, as long as we don't lose. Oh, hello, Poing! Welcome, welcome. And hello, Nightmare for dinner. Say hi. You got 3 small blues in a row today. Nice. It's great to see. Always good to get good lucky orb days. This is much better than the very unlucky orb days where it's just all green and orange. The orange can still be good if you're progressing through the game, though they eventually reach a point where they have absolutely no value whatsoever. I feel like board clearing with Mountain Crusher. Just want to finish taking a billion extra turns first. I was doing that so I could get green on the board. That didn't exactly help. This might seem weird, but I actually am considering doing this just to get green, then Wild Queen. Before I do, I should probably take a skull so he can resummon a billion times. Oh no, that gives him an extra turn now. If I do this. I'm just gonna have to do this instead. And then try resetting the board with another mountain. I'm gonna reset the board before you Wild Queen. Oh yeah, now we won. It's over. As long as we have alignment here, we won. Problem, we don't have alignment here. Now we do. Oh no, we still don't. Even after that, we don't have alignment. Not for the cast we want to use. Doesn't matter though, he's about to be bursted for so much damage, I'm pretty sure he's just dead anyways. There we go. Because I forgot the double tap was enough to bring him into kill range, so we weren't actually doing over skull damage the first slot, we were doing the second slot. There's a couple skull spammers that can do it, and you definitely need to utilize that when you can. It's pretty good value. I don't actually need cleanse for this battle, do I? He doesn't have any stats effect. Or at least none negative towards us. So with that being said, I guess we go 3 seasons so we don't die. Because he's about to hit us very hard. But yeah, there's absolutely no stats effects whatsoever. Guild Wars. Fight. And don't think we need to tweak anything else. All we really have to do is make sure we take a brown initially so he can't do any damage off his starting assault. And then we win. Okay, the second slot got hit a little, but overall not too bad. Do we have alignment? We do. So we're going to do this. But then we go to mountain. Oh, I'm tempted to take that red to try for a skull sky. Not going to though. Nothing has alignment. Actually, you might. I was looking at the other thing. You do. I'm not sure it's really worth going for though. I bet every other move is also similarly bad, so we'll do it. Should I take that brown first? I guess we will. We're gonna get less explosions from it though. I feel like this should have alignment. It doesn't. What is this? I think this is a Wild Queen cast at this point. One more of those and that's match. Assuming it aligns, it did not align. I think that's still match. We do this. And he gets hit by 1 billion damage. There we go. This team was almost initially made as a joke. And it has basically carried us for the last couple months for Brown Guild War. It was made to counter Yagway Queen Titania as a one-off kind of thing. And it actually works against literally everything. Which is rather convenient. Let's make sure to remember to switch back to cleanse. Also, why does Anu and Nisha look so large? I never even noticed that. I guess based on rarity? But then why does the ultra rare look bigger than the epic? And that epic look way bigger than that other epic? Has they always been this big? I've never noticed that. Look at how big the Anu and Nisha are compared to every other metal. And it can't be based on rarity because that's bigger than that. It's rather strange. And the badges are all weird sizes too. They're more consistent than the metals are. But anyways, we need cleanse. Lots of cleanse. All the cleanse. Every single cleanse. What's our final battle again? Just Frost Mage. Technically Poison as well, but mostly Frost Mage. Oh, it also has Death Mark and Bleed, technically. So it has Death Mark and Freeze, basically. It also has Poison and Bleed, however, those two are a lot more irrelevant. But that'd be funny if we died to it. Because we do have an armor spam team. I'm scared of the Lord of Slaughter, if anything. Also, kind of interesting that the team's pretty much pure green. Maybe that is its green Guild War team. And it set it on defend on accident. We have alignment if we want it. The bigger question is, do we want it? I think we do. Okay, we got full mana off of everything. I think it was worth it. I'm gonna do it on Jar of Eyes because I don't trust it. Alright, we won. It's a really good alignment. Let's match. Oh, we don't have a good follow-up here, though. I refuse to believe there is no extra turn on this board. There has to be some kind of super creative extra turn somewhere on this board. Sure looks like there should be. There's a Skullstorm in play. One thing that we could do is move this blue over into that yellow and then try for a skull off a sky. It's not guaranteed though. Oh, I can do that while also cascading other stuff. The safer route would just be mountain and hope we get lucky. Though I'm kind of curious to see what would happen with this. Problem is we give him a 5x brown, which is technically doing nothing for him though. That's gonna board clear. Let's see, if this is a skull right there. Nope, it wouldn't have been. Okay, good thing we didn't try for the sky. It would not have been. Oh, because that was the one we needed to be the skull. Also, he's hit with Lycanthropy, isn't he? That's possibly problematic. We'll find out in a turn or two if that actually is a problem or not. When he becomes a random beast and then destroys us, we'll find out. No, we won. Okay, that wasn't a problem. That was actually the easiest battle, oddly enough, even though it was the final battle. I think he accidentally used his green Guild War offensive team on defense. Also, wow, this team still scored 9,500, pretty much. Even after doing bad initially. That's why we use it! Also, the main thing I even made that team to counter, we didn't even face a single time. I made that team to counter Yagway Queen Titania, because it's a very popular option on this day. However, we faced 0 of them somehow today, which is rather surprising for this Guild War day. Because if you check our Guild War defend, I'm pretty sure we won, what, 3 times with it? Yeah. 3 out of 16. Which is still good for this late in the game. Honestly, anytime any of these shows 3 or higher wins, I don't even care how many the losses are. It technically won. Just because the player has way higher chance of winning than the AI does. Unless the AI just gets really lucky. So you finally got your first medal of Nisha today. Nice. Now to get another 2. Though, the first 2 are the most important. Though getting a 3rd is eventually nice. Because you can still get value from 20% mana start into 2 Nishas. Which is still meta in many instances. However, it is nice to have a 3rd eventually. But the first 2 you get the highest value from. Because there's a lot that use 2. As far as the build. Not as many that need 3 though, necessarily. In your opinion, when a new kingdom comes, and how many troops should it have? I feel like it should have enough troops to reach 10 stars. Or a little bit under 10 stars, like maybe like 8 or 9 stars. I think the highest starred new kingdom we've ever had was like 6 or 7. But it needs to be at least 8 or 9. The main reason I say it probably won't be 10 is because of the mythic. They would likely release the mythic at a different time and not simultaneous with the kingdom coming out. So I feel like 9's the highest they would go. Because the mythic is likely to be added separately at a later point. I highly doubt a new kingdom would launch with a mythic. There's never been a single kingdom that has ever launched with a mythic in the history of the game so far. Normally they do it for a week-long event like right now, where we have for the useless new mythic that came out today. The Mithrilian. Still around for another 6 days if you want to get it, though. As far as its actual usability, it is pretty bad. It's basically a Gloom Leaf without Impervious, with a weird durability that another troop already has that does it very similarly for much cheaper. Came here to go claim my orb. There we go. You still didn't claim the shiny major orb. We got a green one earlier. Hopefully this one is not green or orange. That is orange. That is the other bad one. Very unfortunate. It just doesn't want to give me a good major orb this week, does it? He has a lot of good small orbs today. 2 blues and 2 purples, but both the 2 bad bigger orbs. Very unfortunate. Anyways, let's go clear out the dailies. Let's go wipe it with like a Phoenicia team or something. Then we'll go hand out a code. And after that, we'll probably just do a little bit of grinding. Because we're already done with the entirety of the raid event. We're out of sigils, plus the guild just got all the rewards, so I don't even need to do it tomorrow or Sunday. Already fully completed. Thanks to 2 people in the guild going for a leaderboard. Always great to see. Makes things a lot easier, that's for sure. Is the rarity of these Nisha tokens similar to that of Mythic Chess? Somewhat. I forget the exact drop rate. There's a full list of it somewhere on the forum, though I'm not sure if they tweaked it since then. But someone at one point did data mine the drop rates and posted them on the forum. I'm not sure what the accurate current drop rates for them are, though. It's decently rare. Like, I think it's like 1 per 100 runs rare. Which is about the drop rate of getting a mythic from a VIP key. But technically a bit less. Because they actually buffed the drop rate of that one. It used to be 1% and now it's a 1.66% from VIP keys. I haven't opened a single VIP key in like 3 years though. Even after the buff, I still haven't opened a single one yet. Also, they have so far been the only key to ever receive a buff, though it kind of makes sense. They're the biggest key in the game. It's kind of funny because even in Puzzle Quest 3, they're planning on buffing their biggest key. Though in that game, it makes sense because it's way underpowered currently. They seem to have trouble balancing their best keys somehow. I guess they don't want to make them too good. No, theoretically, Gems of War does have 2 better keys than a VIP key. Theoretically, a Vault key and a Epic Vault key are both better than a VIP key. A VIP key is worth about 45 gems, whereas a Vault key is worth like 80 to 100. And an Epic Vault key, by extension, is about 270 to 300, given that's basically just 3 normal Vault keys. Making it the highest value key in the game. In theory. Of course, what its actual drop is could differ from that value. So hello, Saber. Welcome, welcome. And Eric and Roberta over there say hi. Welcome, welcome. And Seth. What other questions I missed? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I miss a lot of moves. Anytime I ever watch back at it, it's like, how on earth did I miss such easy moves? It's a lot easier when you're like looking after the fact to notice them. When you're not actually playing or commentating over it. There's so many extra mistakes you make when you're commentating over things. It is surprisingly high. Like, it's so noticeable with games when I don't play it, or, you know, when I'm playing it off stream compared to on stream. Like, how many things you notice that you wouldn't otherwise. So hello, Roberto. Hope everything's been going well. Hello, HG Joey. Welcome, welcome. Alright, all the dailies out of the way. Let me go claim the, or give you guys the redeem code. And that will probably mess with token farming for the rest of the stream. And answering any other questions I may have missed, or any other questions you guys have, do let me know. We'll probably go for about another half an hour and just do a bunch of token grinding. Because we haven't been able to get much in lately. But the next few days would probably be a good time to do it since we're done with every weekly event. Because last weekend we were spending it all gnome grinding, of course. Let's see. One moment. Alright, got the redeem code. Checking the redeem code. Getting the redeem code link. And sending the redeem code. There you go. There's the redeem code. Use on gemswar.com for the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste of random numbers and letters starting with W7. And it gives the same word as always. True charge. No, never mind. I forgot. It's the other one. I always say that out of habit. But 25 gems, 500 souls, 5,000 gold. Enjoy, everyone. An unusable on PC mobile version. Also, hey, we're almost going to be back at 30,000 gems. Just for us to have to spend another 1,000 in a couple weeks and go back down. Actually, what did eat all of our gems? I guess vacation did. I didn't spend that much more than normal. I think the week I was on vacation, I spent an extra 1,000 gems compared to how much I would normally spend on that week if I wasn't on vacation. Just to speed through some of the events. Mostly the new faction, but also partially the Tuesday event. Just so it took even less time than the little bit of time it already takes. Just to make sure I would get it done. But anyways, let's go token grinding. Already got the metal set up for it. We finished everything else. Because World event is done. Let me just double check. But yeah, they should all be done. Guild Wars, obviously it's not fully done, but we just got Blue Day and Green Day left. Blue Day tomorrow, Green Day on Sunday. We gotta wait till those days until we can. World event. Oh gosh, we got the triple event again, didn't we? I almost forgot this week was a triple event week. But where's the thing? Oh yeah, there it is. We already did everything for the World event. And as far as the raid event that started today, we are already done because we had 2 people go for leaderboard. Pretty sure the other person's still on leaderboard. They're 24,000. Yeah, they're like right at the bottom of leaderboard right there. And Isabel's in like top 20 somewhere. Forget how many points she had. Oh yeah, it's around that multi-way tie area. Tied with Bob. I'm not sure how exactly tied, but yeah, they're right in that area. Okay, let's go do some grinding. We got 2 Anus this morning. Oh, that's not the team I want. Whoops. That is not a token farming team. That's the trophy farming team. We'd want to do that on Explore 5 or 6, and they can one-shot it for 2 trophies per battle for the highest trophy rate in the game. It's not really viable to do, though, unless your guild is really paranoid about getting a high amount of trophies. Which my guild currently generally doesn't care about too much. Like, it's obviously beneficial if we get more trophies. It's not like too huge a deal. Have we hit top 20 yet? No, we're at 23rd. We're kind of in the middle between these two. And I'm not sure what their current growth rate is. Oh no, were we below or above 100,000 gap before? Weren't we below? That means we're gaining trophies slower than them then. Which isn't too big a deal, but yeah, there's 103,000 gap. I'm pretty sure it was under 100,000 at one point. Our gap with Tiger Claw is getting bigger, if nothing else. So in that direction, we're winning. In the other direction, I think they're gaining a little bit more than us. Not sure. Because I'm pretty sure it was a 5-digit gap before, now it's a 6-digit gap. And to take top 20, we'd have to keep up with the current rate of all guilds and gain 260,000 trophies. Which, not sure if that's happening. I mostly wanted to stay here. As long as we stay above that point, that's the main thing. Anything beyond that's kind of just for the sake of it. Is this game pay to win? It can be to some capacity. It's definitely a very heavily grind-based game. However, everything is decently accessible through free-to-play methods. with very, very few exceptions. There are still plenty of people that play the game 100% free to play. Are still able to do everything. But the early on in the game, it definitely can seem a little bit daunting when you're first starting off. My main advice would be to take it slowly and try to get into a decent guild. Or a guild that's really new player friendly, is able to help with information and everything. Because there's definitely a bit of a learning curve to kind of get used to like the weekly, daily kind of system in the game. And kind of get accustomed to everything and actually start to build up enough resources that you can actually like partake in the game. Because when you're first starting off, it feels like you're low on like literally everything. Normally fixes itself out after about a month, couple months. But definitely keep an eye on Global Chat 1 or check the Gems of War forum, because there are definitely a lot of guilds that are really new player friendly that can help out a lot with starting out. Not just with resources, but also with other guidance. But mostly the resources, obviously, are one of the biggest things that end up helping, of course. You get a lot of your weekly resources from guilds. A good majority of them when you're first starting out in the game actually comes directly from the guild. Because whenever a task is done in the guild, every single person in the guild gets it. One kingdom to go do if you haven't done it already, try doing Forest of Thorns. You get Rowan for completing it. Rowan's one of the strongest troops in the entire game, and you get her for free from completing out the Forest of Thorns questline. If you already have her, consider building her in second or third slot on one of your teams. She has really high damage output if you can keep her with high armor and make sure she doesn't get hit. So, good evening, Sir Michael. Welcome, welcome. And no problem for the code, everyone. Enjoy. Didn't you spend a few extra on a cosmetic pet recently? Did I? I do have both the cosmetic pets. Actually, both of them were gifted by Isabel, too. But both of them were quite a while ago. But yeah, there's 2 money cosmetic pets in this game. The rest are obtained through holiday events and just finding them randomly up on pet gnomes. Oh, theoretically, every season pet has technically been a money pet. However, they did say they are looking into some way to bring them back into the future. However, as it currently stands, no season pass pet has ever been brought back into the game. Though based on what they said, it does seem like they will at some point. They just haven't yet. But how they initially described it a while back, it seemed like after the event ends, there would be like a special pet event for it. But so far, not a single one of them have returned in any way. So they're probably still trying to figure out how they plan on bringing them back. It's one of those things where they say they'll do something and then they'll take like a year or 2 before they implement a proper way of doing so. Though those don't really matter, they're all cosmetic anyways. It's not like they actually give you a benefit in any way. Other than for if the kingdom requires it for upgrading. But so far, not a single kingdom has ever been locked out of upgrade because a cosmetic pet needed to be maxed. There might have been slightly more convenience, but I can't recall a single instance where not having the cosmetic pet max was the difference between not being able to upgrade it. Because normally there's a pet for the kingdom that's based on stats, because the kingdom pet itself. Then normally one other one based on stats, and then a third one that is the faction pet. So most tend to have 3 pets that aren't any of the cosmetic ones. Yeah, well, Mr. ended up saying it is pretty decent as well. Rowan into Urskia Shield is such a great combo. It's something that runs through the entire game as well as most pieces of content. It's pretty nice. Urskia Shields from 250 wins on Sentinel Hero class, which is obtained from completing out Urskia Kingdom. And Rowan you get for free just by completing Forest of Florence, which is the one you should do first because that's a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. Hello, Andre! Welcome, welcome. So we haven't gotten any good medals tonight, did we? We got double Anu this morning. Hopefully we get Nisha tonight. Felt like forever since we got Nisha. There's elusive Nisha medals. I still wish they would give us more ways to get medals passively in the game. I just hate that Explore is the only way to really effectively get them. Because it doesn't give you other variety for ways to get them for the most part. It's pretty much just spam Explore. Yeah, Rowan can run literally through the entire game. Rowan or Skia Shield can kill basically anything. It might not be the most efficient way to kill everything, but it can indeed kill everything. And both of them are obtained 100% for free through 100% consistent methods. There are several things within the game that can be obtained 100% consistently. And as far as meta teams are concerned, that's one of the best ones that are obtainable at 100% consistency for free. Well, technically almost everything can be obtained for free, but you know, as far as consistently being able to get it as a drop. Because both of them have a specific thing you can do that will 100% of the time give you the drop. Apparently you can get a good weapon if you level up Fire and Earth ability. Yes. Fire and Earth ends up giving you Mang. Mang is a weapon that will tear all of the enemy's armor and give you that much attack value. It's a really good weapon for upscaling throughout the game, particularly for Delves. One way that you would use this is use it with a hero class that has Barrier on Brown. These include things like Sentinel hero class, which you'd also want to do for Urskia Shield, Titan, and a few others. But these classes, once they get to level 40 specifically through the class itself, ends up gaining a option to Barrier whenever you take Brown. And this works really good with the Mang weapon that you get at high Brown Red Mastery. And you can end up using that weapon to go through quite a few pieces of content within the game. It's mostly good against content that is way stronger than you. So these include things like Delves, maybe the high level end of PvP. Things like the adventure board, if it's one of the harder ones. Pet battles, if you're still struggling with pet battles. Mang with a barrier hero class would work really well for that. Loon can carry you through pet battles. And even dungeons, if you're still struggling with dungeons. You can end up killing that as well. But yeah, Mang is a very important weapon. I know when I started my Nintendo Switch account, for the month or two that we ended up playing it, I was using Mang for like 80% of the time. Like, we used it for a lot of things. It's just such a nice early game option. It's one of the best weapons in the game, and you get it for free pretty early. And by free, I mean a 100% consistent method of getting it by doing something. I think it's 23 Brown Red Mastery, but I can't remember the exact numbers. I know you get it by about level 150 if you go even on all the numbers. So 23 sounds about right. Oh yeah, you can end up doing Golden Cog, which you end up getting pretty early as well. Golden Cog doubles armor. The only issue with this is armor is a bit lower early on in the game, so you're not doubling as much compared to Urskia's shield. But it is an alternative. Because Urskia's shield gets buffed by the enemy stats, whereas Golden Cog gets buffed based on your own stats. So in many instances, Urskia's shield is stronger. But Golden Cog does do a very similar effect. Oh, I should have taken Skull. We could have already won. Whoops. Hey, Anu. Gosh, we're doing really good on Anus today. No niches, though. Sadly. Still want to keep trying for one. I feel like it's been a while since we got an Nisha. So didn't we about a month ago? I don't normally power grind it too much. I'm pretty sure in the last month I've grinded for like 15 hours, if even that. Especially since we were on vacation for 10 of those days. About 3 Anu's not bad. Theoretically, based on their drop rates, we should get about 1 Nisha for every 3 to 4 Anus. And we've already gotten 3 Anus today. 2 this morning, 1 right now. Yeah, that's one thing I never know what to actually replace with. When someone mentions they don't have Leprechaun, I really wish there was a consistent way of getting it. There are a few that are consistent to get that are really good, like Apothecary and such. But Leprechaun really does not have a one-to-one equivalent for early game. Because you can't really use Throut or necessarily Marilith or those other ones as consistently. Just because they don't have as much Gem Destroy compared to how much they have later in the game. Oh, Angry Mob was the other one I was trying to think of. Angry Mob is definitely usable in all those earlier in the game, though. It's just their value is a bit less. Or something like Leprechaun pretty much has the same value throughout the game. But it's an ultra rare off of random drop table that has no consistent method of actually obtaining it. Unlike some of the low rarity troops that can be obtained just by upgrading kingdoms. Hello, Andreas. Welcome. Just stopping by for a quick question. You started really pushing the Kingdom Power last week's. Everything used to be level 6, and now 60% is at Power 9. Nice. Congrats. What's the question, then? Here's your question. Where do you take your hourly gold? How much tribute gems do you get on average? How much do I get? I believe about 20, 21. How much would you get at 9 All Kingdoms? I believe 4 All Kingdoms is around 5 gems. I believe 9 All Kingdoms, I believe, is around 8 or 9. I think it's closer to 8 per hour. But yeah, I believe if you have every kingdom at 9 or very close to that, you're getting about 8 per hour. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm currently getting like 20, 21 per hour or something. But we have literally like everything as max as it could possibly be. Like, I don't think there's a single kingdom tribute that is not as max as it could possibly be. I think we're missing 1 stat, just because I don't want to upgrade the bandit. But I'm not missing any tribute chance anywhere, I don't believe. But yeah, last I recall, you do get about 8 or 9 per hour from 9 All Kingdoms. And 4 All Kingdom is around 5 per hour. Yeah, 9 to 11 per hour, that sounds about right. It's been so long since I've been down in that range. But it does sound correct. Oh, 1,000 glory. Remember when I was saying earlier where you shouldn't be glory farming because you can just get glory gnomes? That's why. That's like an entire hours of glory just randomly off a drop. Glory Gnomes are absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure the Jewel Gnome that they added after Glory Gnome was added for the sole purpose to balance out Glory Gnome. Instead of directly nerfing Glory Gnome, they made Jewel Gnome 100% useless in an indirect way of trying to nerf Glory Gnome without actually nerfing it. I'm pretty sure that's the case, because Jewel Gnome is like the worst gnome in the game, and Glory Gnome, for whatever reason, is so ridiculously strong compared to every other gnome. Which kind of seems like what happens. He stole your gnome. I know, you're trying to hunt for glory. We found it. But yeah, that's why glory farming's pretty much dead in the current state of the game. You just find like a single glory gnome in two, and you already just got an hour worth of glory relative to farming it in PvP. There's pretty much no reason to glory farm anymore due to glory gnome. Which is kind of a good thing, because it doesn't force you to PvP anymore to get glory. Because way back in the day, if you wanted glory, you had to go to PvP. There was no other way to get it. But nowadays, there's a lot of alternative ways where you can completely just skip PvP and still get glory. Catch you later, Andreas. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. I'm still a little bit tired from last night. I stayed up till like 5, 6 a.m. or so to go record the video. And then I slept. Because I can't start recording it till 3 a.m. because of the reset time. It's 3 a.m. my time. So this is a very late recording it. If I sounded tired during the Mythic video earlier this morning. That is why. Pretty sure I started recording at 4 a.m. I asked this question a while. You were busy with Guild Wars, and it got missed in your opinion. When a new kingdom comes on... No, I already answered that question, Bill. I didn't answer it when you asked it, but I did answer that question. But I was mentioning that it would probably be brought in with enough troops to reach 9-star. The main reason I say this is because it is very unlikely they would start a new kingdom with a mythic. But no, I did answer that earlier. But no, 9-star seems to be the furthest they would go. Because I highly doubt they'll start a kingdom with a mythic. Or is there a second part to the question? Let me see. I forgot how many troops that is. But whatever 9-star is what I feel like they would start it with. Like 8 or 9-star. I believe the highest a kingdom ever started with so far was like 6, I think. Being able to reach 6-star immediately. But I feel like closer to 8 or 9 is more likely. Though I highly doubt 10 because there's almost no way they're going to start a kingdom with a mythic. They're going to have an individual event like they do for this current week event. Where they bring in a new mythic for it. But who knows? We'll find out when it happens. Don't really have any way of knowing. Finding Leprechaun isn't getting every troop's mana up straight away, particularly in Soul Team. Well, if you're being blocked on mana, like if you have multiple things that use purple or multiple things that use red, it does go into the first troops first. So you need to have a wide spread. It's also, of course, based on whatever is actually exploding near the greens. So if there is a lack of a color on the board, it's not going to accumulate as much for that color. Also, keep in mind, exploding a gem gives you half the mana of how much you would get for it, not the full amount. So if you're exploding, let's say, 5 red gems, it actually scales down to 2 because it rounds down. So you're only getting 2 red mana if you explode 5 red gems. Or if you do something like 8 red gems, you get 4 mana from it. Because it's half rounded down. That's how much mana you get from the explosions. So you do get full value for whatever cascades. It's like all that mana we just got from the being matched, we get the full amount from. Or the ones specifically exploded by the ability are halved, how much mana you get from it. Trying to read through the rest of the chat. Am I missing any other questions? I answered that. If you find that Leprechaun's ever not giving enough mana, you could try the Gem Destroyers too. Or even just go Gem Converting. Some pretty nice troops for that are the standard 6. The Apothecary, Valkyrie, Alchemist, Hellcat, stuff like that. All the ones that have the capability of converting a color to another color. Apothecary is probably the strongest out of all of them overall, just because it has Cleanse. And it's used for brown, so you can use it with Hero Class against Barrier on brown for a lot of value. It's one of the most commonly used converters. Because it has both Cleanse and it can Barrier spam your hero. If you're using a hero that gains Barrier on brown. It's a really strong troop to consider, because you can go Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, something, with one of those somethings being a brown damage source and the other something being a damage source of pretty much any kind you want. Though one of them has to be brown, because you're going to have excess brown. Yeah, Thrall and a couple of the other ones can be inconsistent at times. Mostly because their amount of destroys is based on magic. So earlier on in the game, it's a bit worse. But the further you go, it keeps getting better and better as you get more magic in the game. When he was first released, he actually seemed pretty meh. But then a couple years later, when we had like 1 billion more magic in the game, he actually became like ultra meta. And has not been nerfed since, which is kind of interesting. I'm actually really surprised Thrall has not been nerfed yet. I guess they just don't want to punish newer players for using him. Because it's a lot more balanced earlier in the game. Well, once you reach like really high stats, he starts becoming increasingly unbalanced because his mana cost is so low for what it does. Come on, Nisha. Gosh, we got double Anu this morning, double Anu tonight. It just does not want to give us Nisha, does it? What would you consider changing on that team? On the team that I'm using right now? To make it cheaper, or... Because this team right now that we're using isn't necessarily something you could use earlier in the game. Mostly because it's centered around Zugov. Zugov's one of the hardest troops in the entire game to obtain. But the mana accumulation premise on this team can be used throughout Leprechaun. It's a mana accumulation method that's not horrible. The other variant of it too is gosh, I forget its name. Either Merilith or Leprechaun, or Angry Mob in Leprechaun. Ends up also working out pretty well. Oh, what team were you referring to before? Your current team is... Oh, sorry, I didn't read your previous comment. Your team is Summer Fury... Summer's Fury, that one, red weapon, isn't it? At Warlord level 20. You do generally want to change to something other than Warlord. Warlord's something that you get early on, so a lot of newer players tend to level it a lot. Warlord hero class is one of the weaker hero classes, though. When you're first starting out, it's not bad, because a lot of its perks actually are beneficial when you're just first starting out. But you definitely do want to switch into, ideally, one of the barrier-related ones. Probably one of the most consistent things to change into, just for overall value, is Titan hero class. You get it from Stormheim, all the way in the top right of the map. It's the most well-rounded, decent hero class in the game. You could literally just have that one and not need to worry about a single other hero class if you truly wanted to. Though you generally want to level all of them eventually. But it is advised switching to some of the other ones, as Warlord is one of the weaker ones. But it's fine for early on in the game. Not too big a deal, still running it now. Quillen level 19. Oh wow, you have a Quillen? That's pretty good. To have gotten that drop. Corrupted Urskea, that's not bad with Quillen for that early on in the game. And what's your 4th troop? Did I miss one? It's only 3. Oh, Stone Giant. I forgot what Stone Giant is. I think you might want to replace that for a mana generator, though. Let's see, what would be the
best early game option to synergize Quillen. Quillen does what again? Red to purple, or is it purple to red? No, it's purple to red. He does purple to red and wow, why can I not remember his 2 converts? Wow, I cannot remember Quillen's 2 converts. It's like purple to red and something to skull. Gosh, I haven't ran Divinish Ball with Quillen team for a while, have I? Which is kind of funny because I'm going to be running it for Guild Wars. Honestly, that's the only thing I do run it for these days. Why can I not remember Quillen's other convert? Let me go check. Because you would definitely want to build around Quillen. That's pretty nice to have that early on in the game. Like, even a Quillen Mang build could work pretty well. Purple to red, brown. Oh, yeah, it was brown to skull. Duh. But yeah, definitely build around Quillen. Purple to red. That works really good into Yogwei. Probably don't have it yet, though. How do you maximize Guild War points? To maximize Guild War points, you want to win in as few turns as possible, and every extra turn does count as a turn, even if it's on your turn. Get as much mana basically, get as much mana as you can while making sure the enemy gets as little mana as possible, and do as much damage as possible while making sure the enemy does as little damage to you as possible. You also want to make sure you lose no troops, and that'll give you more points doing those things. Oh, you finally made it to level 1,600. Nice. Let's see. What would I consider changing with that team? Probably replace out Stone Giant for a Mana Accumulator. I'm just trying to think of what Mana Accumulator you might want to do. Maybe Alchemist? Alchemist can actually loop a little bit with Quillen. Where you basically go and convert something to yellow. That will feed into Quillen. Then Quillen will create a bunch of purple to red. And that red will feed back to Alchemist, that you can then feed back to Quillen. So having Alchemist as a Mana Accumulator could be good. It's also a rare, so you probably have it laying around. It's a rare that you get from Adana. It's also a rare, I believe you can get 100% consistency if you somehow don't have it currently. Because I believe you get it at a very low level just by upgrading Adana. Yes, literally level 2, you get a free Alchemist. So if you don't currently have an Alchemist, you could just get Adana to level 2. You can get a copy of it for free at 100% consistency. So you could just end up doing that. But anyways, any other questions anyone has? Anything I missed? Otherwise, I think I might be calling it a night. So any other questions, let me know, let me know. Let's see. Also, you don't have to use every single color on a team, of course. One nice thing that's actually the case with a lot of banners, though a good majority of them in the Underworld, so you might not have unlocked Underworld yet, but a lot of banners actually have a minus on them. So it is actually beneficial to run a 5-color team. And the main reason for this is there are minus banners within the game, almost all of which are from Underworld. I believe there are still a few above ground, but most of them are residing in the Underworld. But there's a bunch of minus banners that basically give +2, +1, -1. So if you were to use like this banner without using brown, you would gain, you know, quite a bit of benefit because you don't have any negative effect from the minus brown while still gaining the additional benefit of the +2, +1. Because most banners, of course, are just a standard +1, +1. But there's quite a few +2, +1s, mostly in the Underworld, though there are some that are above ground that are generally pretty good to build around. So you don't necessarily need to be using all 6 colors within a team, since a lot of these other banners can give you quite a bit of value that benefit technically from not using a specific color troop. Though generally, if you're doing a bunch of destroys and a bunch of explosions, you do generally want to be using all 6 colors. That's definitely not required. Let's see. Answer that, answer that. Anything else, anyone? Let me know. Yep, no problem, HG Joey. Glad I could help. We stream every single night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be back tomorrow night, same time, 1 hour prior to now, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be doing Blue Guild War, I believe it was tomorrow. And we'll probably mess with a little bit more farming since we kind of finished all the weekly events already. So I don't have any other weekly events to do the next 2 days other than Guild Wars. And I'll just do that into a little bit of grinding. But of course, Sunday night we'll have a bunch of spoilers for the week. And also, I believe they're going over the next patch this next Monday. So on Tuesday, if the patch isn't already out by then, though I'm pretty sure it's going to be a couple weeks, but we'll go over everything that they mentioned. I already know some of the things, though I'm pretty sure there's some things with next patch I still don't know, because I had heard from some people in the beta, though they didn't tell me everything. So we'll find out then. But it does seem like a pretty good method to farm, if nothing else, but I'll have to wait and see. But hopefully it'll turn out nicely. It seems like a pretty decent patch, if nothing else. But they tend to do that for summer patches. A lot of their summer patches have been some of the best patches we've gotten in the last couple years. So hopefully this one will be the same. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and the rest of your weekend. Don't forget, if you still want to get the Mythic, you still got 6 days left. It's a pretty bad one, but it's still a new Mythic nonetheless. So if you're lucky to collect them all, it's still worth considering, at least if nothing else. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you later.